You are listening to Within Tolerance, a podcast for machinists by a machinist. I'm your host, Dylan Jackson of Proteum Machining. And this week, as always, wrapping up the year 2025. Zap, what is going on?
Living the dream, baby. I'm in Boise right now.
Which I was shocked that you were going back there at all. You said Reno, and I was like, okay, maybe he's going to like the knife guy or something.
Yeah, what a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, before we jump into what's going on, hello to everyone who is live. This is our first time trying it on Riverside going live. Thanks to Justin at PDX for having me on their end of year wrap up. Because I didn't know it was even a possibility. Like I'd always seen audience and I was like, I don't know how well that works. And it worked really well. So thanks, Justin. And welcome all to doing this live. Hopefully it works out. So yeah, let's get back to it, man. Why are you in Boise? I thought you were not going to be there for another, like, at least.
Yeah. Well, so we decided to keep the machine here is what we ended up like landing on. We started like doing some, math, getting it out to toolpath and like how effective the machine is going to be over there versus just keeping it here. And it just kind of made a bunch of sense to find a spot here. And it turns out like one of my buddies from the Bay Area who moved up here has like an extra bay that he was looking to sublease that we found legit on like LoopNet. And then just like hit him up. We went over there, Michael Martin went over there, and it's like, oh yeah, this is perfect. It's awesome. It's a cool space. So machine was supposed to show up yesterday, but it didn't quite work out just because of end of year stuff. So it'll show up next week. But we have a new space in Boise, which is about half, like rent wise, it's about half of what we were paying right now, which is sick for basically the same space. Technically, because of how everything ended up being divided, it's like double the space that we had before. I think Michael Morton is at the new shop right now because we're going to paint the office. Like really just decided, like renewed the lease on the apartment, just kind of like going really whole hog on this, like still going to maintain the miter's office because I mean we will do like a shitload of work in California no matter what.
Right.
But really kind of navigating towards like legitimately planting a flag in Boise, which is very funny to say. I was like talking to Michael Morton about this as we were like taping shit off earlier. Is like it's the same plan, like from a 10,000 foot view as last year. I feel like a broken record saying that. However, the biggest difference being that like there's like an actual plan beyond that right now,
Right.
The company is like completely different than what it was a year ago. Like we're pretty locked in on how we like our process and like people wise for the most part and whatever else. So it's like there's like a way to navigate this and I have Michael Morton now, which makes a lot more sense because I didn't have him before. So like having like we could set the office up, he can do meetings out of the office, whatever. Like had a really good meeting, like impromptu meeting with the like main like the Boise HFO sales guy today. Because Chris Wills, who's Gemini Manufacturing or something along those lines on Instagram. Mm-hmm. He's who has the other 3 bays, and he had a UMC 750 delivered yesterday and they're installing it today. And so just was chatting and like, they're like, we need turnkeys bad, whatever. It's like, cool, perfect. And then probably that like leads back to like the next employee we probably hire will be a guy like in Boise that can program and run the machine or whatever. And he'll be like on site with Michael Morton as opposed to like having somebody on like an island,
Right. And I think most importantly, this is your own space. You're not sharing with someone.
Correct.
Subleasing, but
yeah,
it's your own space. Which
that is the biggest thing of with the previous one, like both the previous two were both like shared spaces, and it just gets so fucking weird, you know? Like you could share resources, like, okay, I borrow a mop or whatever, but it's not like what ended up happening at the last place was like our machine was there, and then it was the rest of the space was like the other company's space, and we had an office, and that was it.
Neither of
it
you
was
had like your own space.
No,
just in the mix, which sucks.
Yeah. So like we're just gonna like really plant a flag super hard, and then I can basically positively say like, where do I live? Say boy. Like I've also decided that's a 4-part answer now, which is like Boise 1, California 2, and then like 3A, 3B between like Arizona and Massachusetts. You know, and that's how that.
Man, you're the CNC nomad.
CNC. It's all over, and then like kind of just bouncing around between those places and whatever. And there's like a lot of other shit that's been going on, but I like actually like legally can't talk about it, but it's like wrecking my brain. Yeah. But then getting to Boise took like driving from the Bay Area, which is normally like a 10-ish hour drive, took like 20 some hours in like 3 days and 3 vehicles, you know, because I started and then the belt for the alternator broke, and
like the band's fixed. It's all
man. It's so funny. Like I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like I got it. I noticed like because I have like the voltage meter for like the house battery and the car battery, and I just noticed that it was going down a lot, you know? And I was like, that's the car battery's not supposed to do that. So, I mean, you saw what I kind of used the house battery to charge the car battery with like in a really
electrical Russian roulette, dude.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
those videos or those pictures. And I was like, I hope to God that Zap shortly here because
yeah. I did put safety glasses on before I did that, just to make sure that my eyes didn't get fucked up. And I was like, I had like insulated. I was like touching stuff, you know. I was like, this seems all right. Like, and it worked out. I mean, it was fine. So that's in the van is in the shop. They replaced the belt, and they're like, we think it's fine. And it's like, can you like make sure? Because it was like overvolting. It was like pegging the voltage before the belt broke. And it's like, well, is that because the belt was doing weird shit, or because the alternator is going out, or like what's going on there, you know? And so that's where that's going on. So got that back. So that was like a 5-hour journey to end up like back where I started, which is very annoying. Took all the shit out of the van, put it in the Subaru, and then started again. And insane traffic to Reno from the Bay because of like the Sierras and snow and all that. And then like I got like 5 hours into that, and then like it's a manual, and I put the clutch in. Like it started smelling really bad and like kind of smoking, and I was like, oh my God. And I mean, like at that point, I was like in the middle of traffic. It's like there's nothing I could do. So I was like, well, I'll just keep going and see what happens. And then I put the clutch in, and then it just never came back, you know, which was very, very fun and cool. Luckily, I was not too far away. I was like 50 miles from Pete, you know, so I like had the car towed to Pete Oxenham from Toolpath, and I stayed the night with him, towed it to Subaru shop in the morning. They have it, they're fixing that. And then that was cool. Rented a car, took all the shit out of the Subaru, put it in the Jeep, and then drove to Boise. And now I'm here. But man, what a fucking nightmare.
I've been thinking on this. Have you thought of selling all of your cars except for maybe the Toyota and then just leasing vehicles? Like
Maybe.
a prime candidate for like a low mile lease.
Yeah,
You
that's
lease
true.
Cars, and that way, if anything happens like that, like you're not liable.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to add it up in my head. You got to be like tens of thousands of dollars in repairs this year.
Yes. That is true.
And the Subaru.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a couple of really nice leases for the year, or like for a couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That is fair. Yes. Yeah, that's
they were talking about your next vehicle acquisition needs to be a tow truck.
Yeah,
dude. Like you need to check out a car in a city subscription.
Yeah,
I know what a lease is.
I was
just lease cars, dude.
Yeah, they're using like Turo.
Because
I like that.
App in ZC's name too. Then you could
Right
just
off,
leave him with
baby.
like Michael, and Michael could use them for like business.
Yeah.
Stuff. And you could leave him in Boston or something, and have him for company stuff. Like,
yeah, I will have to look into that because that's a good idea.
Like,
yeah,
business.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of heading that way. You know?
It has feel, like terrible. I'm frustrated for you, so I can only imagine how frustrated you are.
Oh my god, dude! When the clutch gave out, I was like, "All right, this is a fucking joke." Like, what is going on? And then like I was like in a lane and I was blocking a lane. I called the tow truck and they were like, "You fucked up. You should have called the police." I was like, "Well,
that's a good thing to."
Yeah. But I mean, like those guys, like they like switched drivers like halfway through on the way back to Pete's, and then they like Pete was like, I just put in the park across the street from my house, which is like outside of his gated community. And the tow truck driver who came in the morning was like, they put it here? Yeah, he's like, they shouldn't have done that. All right.
Neat.
Very neat. It's very neat, very cool and fun. So I mean, work-wise, that's kind of all that's going on. That and like finished up in Arizona. Well, not finished up. We'll go out there and we'll be out in Arizona for 2 more weeks in January. Same company. They want 2 more. Yeah. So that was pretty good. That was like a very bizarre one. They're like, I've never seen a company like. I think I said it on the last one. Maybe was like they're an ASI shop and they're like, how are we for a machine shop? And it's like machine shop. It's like fine, but like ASI it's like abysmal. It's the worst I've ever seen, like by far. Yeah. And it's like this weird thing of like they have a lot of money, but they don't want to really spend a lot of money. Like, and like they're both like one of the owners is like a very like we're like high level like, oh, let's just like set up one machine how we want it and then we'll like copy paste it. And it's like, yeah, that's a great idea, but we're just like, or you could just spend the $12,000 like, which is not like realistically that much money, and then we'll have more than 2 sets of Allen wrenches in the shop because like right now it's a bin of Allen wrenches, and like we were able to scrounge together one complete set, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? And like, I was like, just buy the toolbox. They're like, do we have to buy them all? And it's like, we should probably get like this was so wild of a conversation. Like there's stuff all over the place and we should probably get organized. And this is after he was like, we don't need to buy the tool. I was like, buy the fucking toolboxes and then we'll be fine. Then we can organize and at least like get it. Like we don't have to like finish the organization of the whole thing, but like at least getting stuff like away and like in a home, like home or home 0 before we, Gridfinity and like tool trace a Husky box or whatever, like just start somewhere. Like when you're looking around, it's like, oh, we're the calipers. And it's like, you don't want to like set up all of them. Like, what are we doing here?
Did you end up having the, are you broke or are you cheap conversation?
I did. Yes. Yep.
How'd that go?
I was Oh, that was funny because we were on the phone and he's like, "Where's this coming from?" And he's like, I'll be down there. And he came and he's like, where is this? Where's that? I was like, well, it seems like you don't want to spend money. And if you're broke, if you have no money, then that's one problem to solve. But if you have the money, some of these problems we can just buy our way out of them,
Right.
and then they go away. Like I'm like ideally, I think I had down like between like tooling, fixturing, and like general shop stuff and something else. I can't remember what it was. It was like $150,000. But it's like if we organize like just got a toolbox at every machine, that's 12 grand. You know what I mean? That done right there. Then you get tool holders. That's huge because like building a tool takes like an hour, and that's a problem. And there's like, why does this do this? And so like one afternoon, it was like me and the two owners, and it's like, well, you have two tapers out there, and one of them is used in 3 machines, and there's 3 different pull studs. And he's like, well, what is that? Like, had no idea what it was, which is like a very classic thing for like these like VC guys, And so like went out there and showed him like what the difference in between the brother and the DNM and like the Haas are, and like this is a 30 taper, this is a 40 taper. These can't go in these machines. And then here's a 40 taper, a 40 taper, and a 40 taper that also can't go into these other machines because of the pull studs being different and whatever. And he's like, oh, I see. And like these guys, the guys that work there are like surprised because we got them to spend money. And it's like, they're willing to spend money if you just lay it out. If you just like scream into the void, it's like, you need to spend a lot of money. And it's like, why? And you can't justify it. Obviously nobody's spending money for that, but it's like, well, like, look, it takes this long to do this, and it takes that long to do that, and blah, blah, blah. They're all willing to just like spend cash like all the time. And I think, like Justin said, it's like, it's easier to be critical. Also, it's really easy to spend somebody else's money. And that's the best part.
I mean, he was talking about me being critical of your car stuff, but I was just about to say that, yeah, it's very easy. I think it's also easier to hear criticism from someone outside your organization.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's probably why a lot of people hire you for these kinds of jobs, where you're not developing a process. You're just like, in general, improving them.
Right.
Because sometimes you just need someone from the outside to come in and be like, this is stupid. You're doing it dumb. Let's fix this.
Yeah, it was pretty wild and just like kind of nutty. But yeah, that was good. I'm excited to go back there. That'll be like 2 weeks or something.
Sweet.
And then what do we have coming up? Go back to Boston for a couple days early next week, and then I'll go see Tyson Lamb next week. Cool. And then I'll see Devin Bedoni in the week of the 12th, and then to Arizona. Busy January, super busy January. And then yeah, February should be a bit more chill. I think it'll basically be between like Boise and California we got this like really big Inconel job. And that we worked on for like months and months and months. Not like worked on, but like we were in like meetings and whatever for like months and months and months before they finally like pulled the trigger. It's like, oh, thank God. Then they were like, we don't want to pay. That was super fucking annoying. It's like, we had given them the document and everything. I mean, they paid. So like, that's like, well, they paid, but it was just like, we got to the finish line and they're like, we don't really want to do that. And it's like, all right, what? Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? But then they just wanted to see the scope document that we gave them. And it's like, I don't know why you didn't, like, we gave this to you. That spells it all out.
Right.
I don't know why you didn't just like do it. So, or like ignored it.
Like, we'll pay when we see a scope document is different than like, hey, we don't want to pay early.
Yeah. Well, that was like, it initially was well, we don't want to, like, we just don't want to do this all up front until we see something. And what I initially interpreted that was as is like they wanted us to start working, but they were just like, we just wanted to see like a document rather than just like giving you $17,000 or whatever it was. And it's like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, we gave that to you like 3 weeks ago. And it's like, oh, I guess you did. And then they paid. I was like, all right. It was just very bizarre. Yeah. And that kind of takes us to, I mean, a little to now / a little like as to what's coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Good couple weeks then. I mean, besides like the ongoing drama, there hasn't been
right.
I feel like when we've been talking lately, you've had just like a good time at the end of the
year. I have been having a good time. Like this is like the thing with I mean, like just constantly like chatting with like Justin or whatever about, and like you like really, I mean, like along the lines of of lacing cars thing is like just like really hammering on like simplifying stuff, you know? And if stuff doesn't work, then it's like, well, all right, fuck it, you know? Like, oh, we're done with it. Bad customer, fuck you, we're out of here. Like, it's like, oh, but you know, it's like, no, but nothing. You suck. We're fucking done. You know, that's it.
Right.
And just like being completely willing to like really just like cut bait. That's where the whole the other aspect of like keeping the machine in Boise, like it's here, it's in storage. Like it would cost like half a year's rent to like move it across the country to like not to say like that's like something is going to happen with Toolpath or anything, but it's like it's not there, you know? Like I don't have it. Like Justin would be using it, or like or Ben would be using it. Somebody would be using it, maybe some of the time. Like, but that's like, it's like it's a little more complex. Like on paper, it makes sense. In practicality, it's a little bit different. And like,
it would just be nice for you to be able to use your machine too.
Yeah. Yes, you know, that's true.
But like you are paying for it, so
yeah. Yes, I am. It's good. It's good. So like that, like just kind of hammering simple, like, and just like, I mean, really like this is something Michael Morin and I chat about a lot. And I think I've brought it up here before is like just the fucking hand wringing. Like I'm not hand wringing over shit, you know? Like if it's causing me to like wring my hands or whatever, it's like, all right, this is bad. It's no good. Where you have to do something. We have to pivot away from this. It's just not going to work. And just like kind of pushing forward. And I think I said this last time, like trying to think, cause like it's gonna be like I think on release schedule it'll be like three of us episodes like in a row, basically.
Will probably come out before this one.
Cool, nice.
I've been dealing with bugs or like issues with his audio.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's a good episode though. But it's like, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, you're alluding to if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no.
And like, yes, exactly. Basically, if it's a yeah. Speaking of, I went and hung out with Brian Kippen. Like
oh yeah, you said
the day before. Yeah, we went to like Bellwether Coffee Roasters, which was pretty dope. That was a cool place. Like that machine is like it's a very impressive little operation. Yeah, I mean, like nobody really has. Like they build these like closed loop, like zero carbon coffee roasters, and like they don't generate a shitload of heat. They like basically plug into like a single phase like 220 30 amp like welder thing, you know? Like so you could buy one for the shop, no problem. Take your shit to the next level. And you like buy the beans from them and whatever else, and they tell you how to roast them, and then they make coffee and blah blah blah. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Last time we spoke, we were at my shop, and it was supposed to be the day the machine or after the machine was delivered.
Yeah.
So I guess we can start there. Rigging went awesome. C&M, which is the new people we used from Phoenix. I cannot recommend them enough. Like they are by far the best builders we have ever used now.
I think I have recommended them and Hunter before.
Yeah. Well, Hunter, I've not used. I think Hunter has come and picked up a machine that we sold before.
Yeah.
And they seem fine, but like C&M, the guy who runs the team is one of the owners, and then his sister is the one who handles all the dispatch and stuff. And like they were truly fantastic. They were so fast. I mean, like they were moving, 18,000-pound machines fast enough that like it gave me a little bit of pause, but like they were just super competent. And at no point did I think that like they were going to drop it or they were doing anything sketchy. Everything was by the book. Got everything into the shop really well. They end up just moving both Speedios and the old C250 just off into the corner. Kind of nice. And then brought in all the flex stuff. Hermla has you put down the C250 and then leave about 2 feet between the machine and the flex, and then the flex and the storage module and the tool magazine, because they level the machine, then they level each component separately, like rough level them, then they push them into place, and then they final level them.
Are they on wheels?
Well, so the tool changer is the tool magazine. That was one thing. I have video of it. It's going to be part of my like YouTube video that goes up on the rigging. So apparently they used to use for the flex and for the storage module, they used to like ship at great cost this airbag system that would like go and bump up every piece and allow them to float the things into place and blah blah blah. But like they were having to overnight freight this 1,000-pound crate to every install. And so they just started using steel sheets and grease. And so they pull up, like on the flex, it's 6 feet, I think. And they pull up 3 of the feet, have it on 3 feet. They put those 3 feet on stainless steel plates that are covered in grease. And then they just use like a 4x4 to leverage it into place. And like there's little bolt-on brackets that they put on that like kind of bring it into place off of the casting of the machine. And then they're like, okay, when it's touching and it's square, it's good. Like you're done.
Interesting.
And when I first heard that, like the tech told me that, I was like, there is no fucking way this is going to work. Like this is a heavy piece of equipment, because the flex is also epoxy granite. Like the whole base of it is.
Yes.
The column of the robot is. I was like, there is absolutely no way that this works. And when he had them on the plates, he came over. He's like, just give it a kick, like just a little light kick, and like it moved. Like I barely touched it, and it like moved. I'm like, oh, okay, I believe now. Like, it's the most rudimentary, low cost solution, but it works.
Yeah, that's very funny. They're like, go ahead, kick it. They're like, you damaged it. Your warranty's voided right now. Gotcha.
Yeah, it worked incredibly well. He got it, like it was just him, and he moved everything into place, no problem. Got it all installed. Got there Monday morning, and I think we were done with the flex first thing Friday, because we encountered a few issues.
It was crazy they got it done, because you were texting like Justin and I about like some of the issues you encountered, and I was like, are they gonna fucking do this? Is this even gonna happen before the end of the year? And you're like, oh yeah. And it happened incredibly fast.
Yeah. So the first issue was the main tool changer mag in the machine had somehow lost its position. Long journey across the ocean. So he had to re-find home on that and like give it a tweak in the parameters, because like he would line it up. Tool 1 would be perfect, but then by the time he got all the way around the mag to tool 30, it was like a degree off or something, and like you could see it. And so he had to tweak the position of that, got that in, and then the tool tower also had an issue where it wasn't quite what it was supposed to be. And he was like, it's about like a 50-50 shot on these. He's like, sometimes they come in and they're perfect from the factory. Sometimes they come in and they're not. Like it's, not really science. Like they have you put in parameters that are tested at the factory when it's all set up. He's like, things move in transit, and we just have to. Yeah. So that took a little bit. I'm trying to think of when we found it. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. he does a voltage drop check on the incoming line.
Right. Yeah.
Figured out that we don't have enough power for that machine.
Okay.
So I looked back on my emails. I looked back on everything. I think when we bought our C250, it was right as the 20K spindle was being introduced to the performance line. And so the documentation was not finalized and we were missing a lot of it when we bought it. And
Okay.
you think like, okay, my 18K right now works perfectly fine on an 80 amp breaker. Like how much more could a 20K spindle use?
Right.
Turns out it's almost double. So
no way. That's crazy.
So the new Gen 2 machines, at least, I don't know how much more it is than my Gen 1. So Gen 2, they went from 400 to 480 volts. On a Gen 2 C250 with the 18K, they ask for 44 amps of 480.
Okay.
And on a 20K Gen 2, they ask for 70 amps, which is about 121 amps of 208 converted.
Damn. That is
100 amp going to that machine.
I'm not gonna lie, that's surprisingly low. Like from your current one, I thought that you would have been above 80 because like 80 is what you throw at like UMC. You know,
I think they ask for 100 or a little over that for my current machine.
Yeah,
but like the old owner had it on an 80 amp, and like we checked it, and it was like I've never had an issue. Like even the hardest roughing, it's like totally fine. We don't notice any giant sag in the line or anything.
I mean, you also don't really use like a tool bigger than 3/8, right? You like
even
you
like
don't use.
We've done some 3/4 inch stuff, and like even it's totally fine. I think the highest load I've seen is 75% or 80% on this spin.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, totally fine. So we just kind of assumed like, oh yeah, bumping from an 80 to 100 would be totally fine. And I don't think that there was any documentation available when we bought it. And so then I never checked when they finally sent documentation when it was in port. He checked the incoming voltage on, they have like a specific program in the control to check voltage drop. And it just goes like, it changes tools, sits and waits so that everything settles, then spins up to 20 grand, sits and waits for 10 seconds, and then drops to zero. And we saw a 45 volt drop incoming line.
Right. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's the most that Hermlo was comfortable enough with to allow us to keep installing the machine.
So if they weren't cool with it, like what's the...
I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Like they might have just been like, well, we'll come back when you have the right electricity. So we've been able to run it. I was able to cut pallets, it is operational. It is just not like he was worried and I am worried. He was like, hey, you know what? You can spin it up to 20. You can like run tool paths. Cause like when you spin it up to 20, it like jumps to like 180% spindle load for a split second and then drops right back down to like nothing. And you can see that in the voltage too. So like I was able to cut all that stuff. He's like, the only thing I'm worried about is if like it's spinning up to 20K and the robot is trying to like load or like bring the pallet to the load station and the coolant pump kicks on. And we could see problems and like you might have the machine shut off and like you can damage stuff that way. He's like, so I would not run it fully automated yet. He's like, you can run stuff, all that good stuff. I was like, So we talked to our landlord. He's cool with us bringing over power. I found there's already a run of 480 to our next door neighbors, and it looks like the conduit from the utility room to their, like where it comes up out of the parking lot to their suite. It looks like there's plenty of room to run more lines, and it looks like the utility room has 2 full breakers worth of 480 that are completely untouched. A 400 amp circuit. So right now the plan is we're waiting on the city to come out with a field tech and like tell us what's okay. But like, if those 2 are actually unused and are not going to another suite, you can take them, whatever you want. Just let me know what's going on. And so, yeah, the plan right now is to take the 200, bring it through that conduit, break it out with another gutter box on that thing, and then another meter, and then run it to our suite. And if that's the case, we'll put the new machine and the other C250 on that line alone and free up a ton of amperage on
Right.
the other panels.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass. But I mean, I guess all things considered could be worse. At least you have the machine and like you can still use the pallet system. You just can't run it automated. So you like just use it like, all right, I'm done with this part. Let's go over here, whatever. So that's, yeah, annoying. I mean, like it is annoying, especially because it's the end of the year. So like nothing's moving fast right now.
Oh, I checked with my electrician yesterday and he was like, I haven't even gotten like a response from the city.
Yeah, the city's like, oh, we'll start checking our email on like January 5th, and like hopefully you'll hear something from us. Like,
what really sucks too is that, so in addition to all of this, I took on a rush titanium job that I probably shouldn't have because like my wife's not super happy with me for not having the break I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But it's a super cool project. It's in like an area that I'm very interested in outside of work.
Yeah.
And it seemed cool. But they're proving out to be like 5.5 hours a piece. And I've got 8 of them to run. And I'm like, it would have been really nice to load up pallets of this.
Yeah.
But I'm running on the old C250 right now. And I'm going to run a 70-75 job on the new machine shortly. But yeah, things are going well though. Like,
nice.
It went really well. The machine is badass. TNC 7 is really, really cool. Yeah, Alex, everyone does seem to be taking last minute jobs this year. This was like, I really shouldn't have taken this, but it was like a referral from a friend. It's a cool job.
It's a very cool job.
Really actually enjoying making the parts and like figuring out how to make things look really nice because it's just a ton of roughing and then a ton of surfacing in 6AL. Yeah,
it's looking sick so far.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So anyway, that kind of brings us to now. Every other machine is up and running. So he worked on the C250 through Friday. Saturday he came in because we were talking and I was like, well, you're kind of done. Like, do you just want to come in Saturday and I can come in Saturday and you can set up the old machine and then you can be done and go home rather than like staying through the weekend? And he was like, oh, perfect. Let's do that. And so he set up the other C250 that Saturday. Brad and I set up the S700 and the F600, I think Thursday and Friday, something like that. Which, by the way, I told you, Easton had told me this trick a while ago.
Right.
We saw in the install manuals that I don't think most people with brothers, RoboDrills are probably the same way too. So they're 4 feet machines. It's kind of a pain to level them. But there's a kick out in the bottom of the casting in the front that, like, if you don't know what it's for, you're kind of like, why would they cast that in? Turns out in the installation manual that Easton had gone through, it shows like using a machine jack to just jack up on that point, and then it becomes a 3-foot machine. And then you use jack and the 2 legs in the back to do Y, and then the 2 legs in the back to do X. And then you bring the 2 front feet down till they touch, and you're done. And it takes from like a 10 or 15 minute thing, a guess and check, to like, I think I did the F600 in 2 minutes.
That's so crazy.
Like,
that is
that. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the way. Like, why does anybody ever do anything else? So if you have a Speedio and you're looking to level it, or potentially a RoboDrill, do that. Way better, way faster.
Yeah, that is very cool. With questions, how do we want to handle questions through the chat? Like, do you want to do that?
Once we get to questions, we'll do any of the ones in the chat as well as any of the ones from Patreon. And then if there's time left, we'll do Instagram ones.
Cool. We have to answer your wife's questions. I can't not answer your wife's question.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, so I ran all the pallet risers for the Flex on the F600 once that was set up. By the way, the first time I leveled the F600, I didn't do it with that 3-leg method and thought I had it perfect and was just kind of rushing so I could get the pallet. Oh, dude, it I should have had brown pants that day. Like I have not been that scared all at once
Uh,
in a long time. What had happened is I had leveled it on 3 legs, but I didn't check the other side because I was like, oh, they're clearly touching. Turns out one of them wasn't touching at all. Like it had no weight on it at all. Completely rocked when it did a rapid to do a tool set and scared the piss out of me. So but yeah, got the pallet risers done. 4 of them are back from anodize. I need to cut those and mount the ling plates. A lot of people reached out and were like, oh, you should use set screws and all of the 10 millimeter threaded holes outside of the pallet risers. Like, so there's no coolant in them and stuff. But I was like, I have a 3D printer. And so I designed a 4-part mat that goes into the minor diameter of the holes and should block off the entire rest of the pallet besides the riser. I need to set that.
Nice.
I've got 4 of them finally done, and yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, besides that brings us to here. We've got the titanium job and one other job for one of our customers that's due the first week. But it's basically repeat work, like with very slight variations, so not a big deal.
Nice.
And the shop is looking pretty good too. Like it's a mess still. Like there's still some rooms in the hallways, but I'm pretty happy with how the layout is starting to look. Like I think it's going to be pretty functional. Yeah, it's going better than I thought it would. I guess I'll say it like that. Like once we got the machines in there, I was a little worried that like we just were out of room, and like I was like, I don't know how we're ever going to make this look good.
Yeah, that's so funny. You have a lot of space.
We have a lot of space. Like the way that we have to the machines down to get them to fit with like conveyors coming out and that were in the concrete and all of that, it limited how we did it. Because like for example, conveyors in the C250s need 6 feet from the end of the machine to come out fully. So like I had to plan around that. Like I couldn't stack up C250s next to each other or anything like that, because then I would never be able to clean the tank. I'd never be able to get the
right. Yeah.
So it's looking good though. Like I'm gonna take a bunch of video. We finally need to do a shop tour, and like I'm trying to figure out how I want to do a shop tour video. If I want to do multiple parts or just like one that pairs and contrasts the old shop and this one. I have video from the old shop, from the old layout in this shop, and then also I will have like a full walkthrough of this new layout. So I'll figure it out. I don't know if I'm going to do it as like a multi-part video or what, but
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Should we jump into some questions?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's do the ones from the chat first before they go away or before they disappear. So, Chris, can you guys explain the importance of having positive tool offsets for running 4 or 5 axis machines?
Yeah. Man, I had a really good, like I ran into this pretty hard with setting up a machine for somebody where the machine can't, like with dynamic work offsets, like tilted work planes and stuff, the machine can't properly find itself without the positive gauge length, because it doesn't actually know where the spindle is, when you're like start tilting and stuff. If you're doing like open air, like negative, I mean, it's not really like, it's hard to say it's positive because like on a brother they're positive even if you do touch them off, but like when you go like open air and not like from the like the length from the spindle nose, the machine doesn't know where that is in real time. Like if you touch the tool off at the top, like I was helping these guys in the Bay Area on a Saturday like a year ago, set up their machine, and like every time it tilted, it was just like way off. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then come to find out, I was like they had already set the tool. They're like, oh, tools are set up, we're good to go. And I was like, how'd you, like after we like would tilt, like it would cut fine at like B0, C0, but every time it tilted, it would be all fucked up. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then we look and all the tool offsets are negative.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I was like, you don't have a tool setter? And they're like, no. So we did this, and it's like,
Was this the
oh,
Weichion?
this is the Washun. Yep. Yeah. You remember.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Going back through my head, I was like, which ones have we talked about that would have been that
Yeah.
in the ass? And I was like,
That was a fucking huge. And then like, so we like, they didn't have anything. So we had to do some dumb bullshit to like make it work. To like find like basically the approximate length. Once we had that, like was able to dial in the Z, or the tilted work planes, the center of rotation and everything. It like literally can't do the math because like it doesn't actually know where the tip of the tool is, or that thinks the tip of the tool is like way like below it kind of thing, or like way above it, however you want to look at it. And so like when it's starting to like tilt, it's all fucked up and it just doesn't work. That's why it's important, is like it just can't calculate it otherwise.
I was thinking like from center of rotation, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you're using dynamic work offsets or TCPC or anything, that makes sense.
Yeah, it just like the math doesn't work. Yeah, you're right. But I think even with center of rotation, might fuck it up. Maybe from center of rotation, it'd be fine. You know,
I think but it doesn't matter as long as it's.
Yeah, I guess that's true because your numbers look all fucked up and weird anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Alex was talking about the machine leveling needs a video. I mean, yeah, we probably should do a video on that. And like, I mean, I think an important point for any video or any teaching on level is that like level, you want a good base level, but level isn't everything. Tram to the table is everything.
Right.
So like you want to level it, but then if you sweep the table on like a 10-inch circle and you're out, I'd rather tweak the feed in and force it into square than have it perfectly level. Not enough to throw it out.
Yeah.
Rock, but if I can tweak it in with a little, like we had a deuce on at my last job where a guy crashed it so hard in Z that they ended up like the Z was slightly off, like it tipped a little bit.
Yeah.
So to fix it, they were like, listen, like we can replace or like loosen all the Z axis stuff and like come and tram it and stuff, but like we need to get a forklift in here and it's going to be a weak thing. And they were like, what we can try to do is just like put a granite square in there and tweak the feet until the Z is perpendicular to the table. And that's what they did.
Right.
It ended up being fine for what we were doing. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Alex also said, have you ever looked into having your machine ball bar tested? Recently did some training on it and it's very interesting. We own a ball bar. Actually, it was in here 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago before we started. I guess an hour ago now. Yeah, we bought a ball bar specifically because so many machine tool builders seem so hesitant to use them as a diagnostic tool, and they're expensive. They're eye-wateringly expensive, but they are by far the best way and the quickest way to find issues.
Right.
Like you can get a granite square for fairly cheap through China now, and that's a great diagnostic tool as well. But like the ball bar checks so many things so quickly that if you can afford it and you can have one on hand, or somebody that has one that you can borrow, like it's so good.
Yeah.
Circularity and squareness and run out, like everything. And you can really tweak everything in. Like I tweaked in backlash on both brothers maybe a couple months ago with it.
Right.
And so quick to run that's like, oh, I changed the parameter, reset the control, run a quick XY again. Okay. I'm, 1 micron off. That's fine. We're good. Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're fantastic tools. They're just, I think they're 12 or 13 grand new.
It's a very expensive thing, but they're like worth their weight in gold.
Yeah. And the app works so incredibly well. Like it's so quick and easy. Renishaw has a 12 or 13 part YouTube video series on how exactly to set it up and run it. It's truly just like a fantastic tool to have. Colton, have you ever done tool breakage detect on a right angle head for lights out? Renishaw tool probe on a Haas specific. This is all you, man. This is.
I never have, but I guess like it depends on like. I don't think it would be very hard to do, depending on like the direction of the right angle head, like, and if you can actually get it to the tool setter, it would just be kind of like an offset thing, you know, if that makes sense.
It's just going to be a custom modification of the thing.
I don't even know if you would need to do like a custom modification necessarily. If it was like straight in X or straight in Y, it's just like an offset.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Is you'd need to some way to tell it to spindle orient beforehand, because I don't think it usually does.
My guess would be, and he could tell. Oh, this is interesting because like he could actually tell us if he wants to. Is that like they key in, you know, like the right, it'll key in like to and it's like at a set angle in most cases,
right?
So
I'm just saying though, like after a tool path, typically they don't post. Most posts I've seen after you're done with the tool path don't then M19 the tool. It's going to be at whatever angle you commanded, unless you just happen to be using it at the right 90-degree interval to also touch it.
Wait, what are you saying? Explain yourself. I'm not.
Like, you have a right angle one, and then you're using it at like 45 to go into the tool.
But that's not typically how that is like it. I mean, for him, like he has it keyed in X, but like it's just at a set angle, you know. Like you typically so that when it goes into this,
you can orient them and see. So that's what my.
That's really wild. Though most of the,
I guess those are like not traditional, but they're TSC powered ones.
The
ones I've used.
The ones, oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess the ones that are used, like where you're using the spindle itself, like you basically just lock it at an angle, and then it just like you make like a little thing, and then it just pops in. Yeah. But yeah, so he's keyed in X. I mean, it would be fairly, if you knew that distance and you could like get over, then you just like kind of run it like a regular tool break detection.
Your Renishaw body is not in line with the body of the. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Orientation where you would just like absolute punch the top of your tool setter.
Yeah. In which case, like you could move the body and then reset it, which would be all right. But
yeah, you could run a normal like base mill cycle then, realistically.
Yeah,
and just turn.
Yeah. It'd have to be like very broken. I guess like you'd probably. Oh, that'd be interesting. Is like how you would determine like how broken you want it to be. Based off
more like, is it there or is it not there? Not
right.
Is it chipped?
Yeah, big time.
It's like true detection, not telling you any information besides that.
And like how much of it is there.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. Justin, any big changes for 2026 in mind? So yeah, we didn't talk about 2026 at all. This is a year in review, but also looking ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the big one for us is, I mean, it's not really a big change because it's kind of starting where we or ending where we started, starting where we ended, or starting where we started kind of thing. It's like basically staying in Boise. Not really any big changes. I would say this year, 2025, was our big change, like where we kind of like more crystallized what the business is and how we operate and whatever. So I don't really want any big changes for 2026, you know. It's kind of going into 2026 like ideally very little changes happening in 2026.
Right. For us, obviously learning how to use the automation we just bought is a big one. Using Hypermill more.
Yeah.
A couple customer parts with it. It's going well. There's just so much to learn. Like, oh my God, it's so funny because like now when I use Fusion, there's stuff where I'm like, I wish I had this thing from Hypermill. And then I'll use
yeah.
I wish I had this thing from Fusion.
That is well, yeah. I would say welcome to my life of bouncing between like all the cam systems all the time, and it's like Fusion, you're not fusing enough. you're not doing it.
like the titanium parts I'm running right now, like
Yeah.
geodesic is giving me super wonky just tool paths. Like it's creating these weird like wavy edges to the geodesic tool paths, and I can't figure out why. Like I've given it manual curves to drive from, all this stuff. There's no geometry that should do that, and yet it's still doing it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, if I had hypermill, like I could just use like, the fancy surfacing stuff in there and be done. So yeah, those are big things. Another big change, I can finally talk about it. I talked to Travis about it. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Yes.
like not under wraps, but like we've been keeping it quiet because like they've been keeping it quiet. But we partnered with Zesha and Alien Tools this year, them with order fulfillment in the US. And so we might be hiring somebody for that, depending on how much the orders grow there.
That's good.
It's been awesome for us because like they are kind of class leaders in micro tools and weird tools. And we do so much of stuff like that like it's like, oh, like they are on par or a direct competitor with like NS Tool. And so like anything that you would use those kind of tools for, Alien or Zesha tools has something very similar. And probably the highest or like the best tolerance end mills that are out there, or
I mean,
with NS Tool.
they put like the exact diameter to like the micron or whatever it is.
I
Like
what they call their remeasured line, I think, where like they
Yeah.
grind them to their super tight tolerance, but then they remeasure them with a checking machine and then put the exact concentricity and diameter on them.
It's so baller. That's like real baller shit.
Yeah, like I'm using a 4 millimeter right now in the titanium job, and it checked out at 1/10 over nominal or 1/10 under nominal on the radius on the laser.
Oh shit.
In the machine.
Okay.
And I was like, sick. That's
Yeah.
That's really
That's
cool.
pretty good. Yeah.
That's been a big change. We absolutely love the guys over there. Like, we spent some time with them when we were in Germany. Like that's why we went and visited Zesha Tools and spent time in Berlin with Travis and all them. That's why they were out here recently. And that's been a super, super cool change. And like now that things are kicked off, they have the US store open and all that. I'm looking forward to seeing how that changes our business. And like if we do have to add somebody, like the thing we're talking about right now is if we have to add somebody for shipping for them and us, that it'll just be one of our dads who are retired. Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
Like 2 hours a day and like just pack and ship and then leave at 6.
Oh, wow. Fucking humble brag. I have a healthy relationship with my parents. Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's like something that is very easy to train for, or easier than like a machinist. It's like, these are the packing guidelines. Like these are the boxes you use. This is how you pack.
Yeah.
Versus like, hey, I need you to make this very expensive part on this very expensive machine and not crash anything. Oh, and it needs to be done tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get going. So
it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Just a little bit. So that's going to be another big change for 2026. Let's see. Brian asked, what experience do either or both of you have with laying HWR stampers on saw cut stock? What about stock that is really 35 HRC?
So saw cut stock, I don't think I've ever done that. On the hard materials, that's like what it's for. That's like the initial intent of the stamper is so that you don't wear out your jaws. So it does a good job with hard shit.
We have the, whatever they call them, the high end jaws from laying stamper that are meant to go up to 40, I think. We've put in 40 HRC 17.4 and have had no problem. Like they vary the depth that they want. And if you buy a stamper from Lang, highly it shouldn't even be an option, but it is an option. It's like $575 and it bolts on in the front instead of like the shield, and gives you a little mini shield, an indicator, and a centering tool. And the indicator, like you basically put the stock in, you bring the back jaw up to touch, zero the indicator there, and it directly shows your stamping depth. And Lang gives you a sheet that says like, at this tensile strength, you want this depth of stamping. At this tensile strength, you want this depth of stamping. And so like you want on hard materials, I think it's like 100 microns versus like 300 microns on aluminum, things like that. But it works. It works incredibly well. I don't think we've had to rotate our jaws yet after a year and a half.
Yeah. And you're doing a lot of, I mean, you've been doing like this year, it seems like you've done a majority stainless titanium stuff.
Yeah, I would say we do an equal amount in the Hermla of 316 and 6061. And then like a few jobs of titanium here and there. This will be way more titanium than I've ever processed in my career at this point. Just it's like 2 hours just in roughing at this point. And like that's cooking too. Like I'm using one of those SX HDCs that I was waxing specifically about. And it's like, it's an 8mm, 1.1 inches deep at 132 inches a minute and like a 10,000 step over. And it just awesome and keeps kicking ass. Our corporate sponsor, Fraser. Yeah, accused us of being by them, and it's like genuine. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars with them. Like, do you think that I would be doing that? Yeah. They were sponsoring me. I have not spent thousands and thousands of dollars with them, but I've spent thousands and thousands of others people's money for them, and they work great. Except transparency, like Joel will send me free tools to test out my first SX, but he'll also do that for anybody. Like anybody I've recommended to him, legit sends them a few tools to try out. That's basically how I introduce. I'm just like, hey, my move always, if nobody's really tried Freza or if they're unhappy with their current Freza salesman or whatever, I'll just do a group text with myself, Joel, and whoever that person is. Joel, this person needs this tool, send it to them. And he just does it, that's how, I mean, like the NS boys, they just tagged me their story using the AXFPS. And like, that's how we started that, is I'm like, oh, that's the part you're cutting. We'll get a necked 5/8 AXFPS and cut so hard that the Hermla guy was like, I don't know if we should do this. Yeah. And it's like, it's so funny because I remember too when Joel sent me the first AX FPS and I looked it up, and this was before they did the price drop for anything that was ground in the US. Right. I remember just being like, there is zero chance that these tools are worth anything near this. Like, there's no way that they perform that well. And then I remember like running one. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to buy $120 roughers for every one of my machines now. Like, it's so good. And then they became like $90 or something like that. They're incredible. Like we've put them in machines like on turnkeys, and they run for like months, like hours and hours and hours and hours. It's like absurd. The AXFPS is just like, it's so good. And people, like, you talk to people, they're like, they're all kind of doing the same thing. And it's like, no, they're fucking not. No, nothing performs like this. Like, it just isn't true. Yeah. Sorry, everybody else. Like, I've spent a lot of money on different rifles. Yeah. And like the Destiny Diamondback was always my go-to because they're just like so hard to kill. Right. But in terms of like tool load and all of that stuff, like that's the biggest thing. Is like that AXFPS sets so freely. Yeah. Because it's not coated. It has so much more overhead. Yeah. It is sharp as fuck. Like they're sharp. They got that big ass dish. Like, breakers work phenomenally. Yeah. Yep. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Let's see. Alex says, may have already been answered in the past, but are you looking to move 100% away from Fusion in the future? Undecided. We're trying to move 100% away from Fusion in the Hermlas, at least. For 3-axis stuff, like Fusion's really good. It's just so fast and so quick. And like, we're still going to be using Fusion for all design work. Right. For the time being, like if we need to go ITAR, start working on stuff like that, I'll have to look into NX or Solid Edge or SolidWorks or something. I'd really rather not spend that kind of money right now if I don't have to, and learn another CAD system. Like SolidWorks, it kind of has the edge there just because I already know it and have used it for so long.
It's also like if you're just bringing on like a seat, it's like $5,000 or something like
Right.
that. It's not a crazy amount of money. It's still annoying, but like it's all right.
I kind of got chills when you said it.
Yeah. Yes. I NX is like one of those things where I feel like there's a bit of like Stockholm syndrome involved in it, just like DMG Maury's, where it's like, oh, it's so good, you can do anything, and it's like, well, how do you do it? It's like you can do it any way you want. It's like, well, what is the way? Like, there's 100 ways to do it,
Yeah.
and it's like, is there? What do you like? Can you just like answer the question? Like, but it's like it'll do whatever. It just sucks, and like same thing with like DMGs and stuff. It's like the machines are so fucking good. I love the control, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but they're broken all the time and the alarms don't make any sense and they piss coolant all over the place. And it's like, oh, sick. Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seems like a Siemens thing.
That brings up, reminded me, I don't know why alarms reminded me of it, but that was the other thing I forgot to mention is that I'm in the middle of testing and developing like a coolant system. Not really, like I'm not going to do coolant filling right now, but I got that sensor, the continuous refractometer from Keyence.
That's cool. That's cool.
Might be the best, most inexpensive continuous refractometer on the market that I've seen.
Right.
And then I also ended up buying their radar sensor that does level.
Right.
And so I'm currently in the middle of getting like a Raspberry Pi together that will take both of those analog inputs and give me like a little screen and make it available to Home Assistant and all that. Because it was like, it was so lucky. So Raspberry Pis typically don't have analog inputs. You need analog input for these devices. It's like 4 to 20 milliamps. I found a Raspberry Pi hat, like one of the pop-on, give you additional whatever. It does 12 analog inputs. Will do hardware level watchdog. So like it checks if the Raspberry Pi is not, it's still working. And if not, it'll shut it down and refresh it.
Okay.
And in their software package that comes with it, it already has a Home Assistant thing built into it. It's like, what? Like, how did I luck into finding this thing?
Was it on like Alibaba or something?
No, it's some company in the US that
interesting,
makes them, and they make all of these Raspberry Pi hats specifically for industrial and home automation. And I was like, sick. This is perfect.
Yeah.
So that showed up today. Cool. My Pi should be here soon.
Nice.
The sensor is supposed to be here Friday, I think. Yeah, it's great. Alex says, how many times have they called you and tried to sell you more since he's so far? The guy I've been working with, who works in the sensors division, has not been. He has called me a few times, but every time it's just been about like, hey, just wanted to see if you've plugged it in yet, see if you've used it. Is there any way I can help? Blah blah blah. They did contact me once or twice now about a 3D scanning sensor. He was like, oh, my colleague says you might be interested in this. And I was like, nope, not interested. Yeah. And again. And so like they are definitely pushy. Even the guy I'm dealing with, like when I was on the cusp of buying stuff, like he would check in every day or every other day of like, hey, just wanted to see if you had looked at the quote, wanted to see if you wanted to do anything about it. Yeah, Brian, I can definitely put the name of the sensor in the show notes. I'll find it and put it in there so that it's in there right now too. It's the RS radar sensor and the FCI refractometer, but I'll find it and put it all in there. And the thing I will tell everyone listening is if you're dealing with Keyence, find comparable items online and give those prices to your Keyence salesman. They are extremely aggressive about beating other companies because like they were trying to charge me, I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but like let's say it was like $1,000 for the radar sensor, and I was like, hey, here's one on Automation Direct that's like $399, and they were like, okay, we'll do $370 or $380 or something. Like I don't remember what the exact numbers are, but like they were immediately willing to discount it over 50% to match something else. So like be very aggressive when you're talking to them, because they apparently have just all the margin in the world.
Their fucking lasers like 50 grand.
Yeah, unless you find a comparable one, and then I bet you it's 20. Like,
yeah.
Like that was the funny thing is I can't remember what sensor it was, but he was like, well, I think it was the radar one. He was like, well, like it's this, 800 or $1,000 because it's kind of unique on the market. And I was like, well, here's one that's very similar. It's an ultrasonic one that's $399. And you're like, oh, well, can you send me that link? And then like immediately applied for a discount for me. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. So, that's funny.
Yeah. So far, like the concentration one, really fantastic. I actually used it to double check my Milwaukee electronic one because
right.
I filled the Hermla, the old Hermla, last week or earlier this week. It was so frustrating. I was here filling it up and filled the entire tank almost. I was like, oh, awesome, new coolant, because I spent all this time cleaning it out. By the way, it's such a pain in the ass to clean out. Like the sub tank plus the conveyor plus the big tank. It's like, oh my God, it took hours. And then I filled the thing back up.
Good time to switch coolants and be like, all right, I'll switch coolants if you clean my shit out.
Yeah, exactly. So I filled it all, and I just filled the flex, and it was perfect. I set it to 10. The dosatron works great. It was like 10.1 or something. Filled the old Hermla, check it, and it's like 5. I'm like, what the fuck? And I go and look, and the intake hose from inside the coolant barrel had cracked and not sucking up any coolant anymore. And so at some point, probably halfway through the tank. And so
yeah.
I ended up like trying to create a siphon with some hose, but like coolant's too thick to really siphon all that well unless you've got like a really big diameter hose, which I didn't have. And I made a mess and just like hated life. And then I think Christmas Eve, I went out to Harbor Freight and picked up a air suction barrel thing.
Okay.
And then the day after Christmas, I came in and used that to, maybe it was Christmas Eve that I came in real quick and just like filled it up enough to get it to like 8 or 9%. Because I was like, I really don't want things rusting by accident.
Right.
But yeah, it was just an absolute it was so frustrating. But I used the Keyence sensor to double check my Milwaukee because I was like, there's no way that it's 5%. And then I like a little patch in the thing and stuck it in. I'm like, oh, yeah, 5.1. Okay.
Yeah.
Sucks. All right. If there's no other questions in the chat right now, let's jump on to Matt's question, which I absolutely love. Matt Blackwell says, looking back on 2025, what stands out to you as one of the other person's biggest wins?
I think I got one for you because you moved into the shop
2024
this year. Was it beginning of last year?
Yeah, beginning of last year. So we've been here.
Yeah. So
it'll be 2 years in February.
I mean, you've I would say like this year you've just you seem to have like really locked in super fucking hard on your on like your like core competency, and just fucking cranked. I mean, you bought a whole other essentially despite the fact that like you had some issues,
right?
And really lost you lost quite a bit with those issues. We're still able to buy a fucking Hermla, and quite the level up, and so it's like you've built quite the sustainable business,
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed this year from you that I'm so happy is that you really have been starting to or like sticking to more pumpkin plan stuff. Like you had, like you went to the all up front. You really have like cut a lot of these customers that really sucked energy out of the room and just made you like a real horrible. Horrible, like constantly, like constantly. Every time I would be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" You'd be like, "Absolutely terrible. This is the worst day yet from the last 30 worst days." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
So like it's just been I've been so happy to see you really cut back, really simplify your company, create that new billing and like retainer agreement. I think that that's such a big boon for you. And I'm just like so stoked for 2026 for you because I think that you've finally cut enough negative crap out of your business that like you're just really in a good position to kill it.
I think so. So I think like ultimately we're in the same spot, which is like 2026 should be just like we did all this, we laid all the groundwork in 2025. And when I say we, I mean you and I. And like 2026 should just be like, all right, we built this road. Let's just fucking go hard.
Yeah. I'm super excited for 2026. I think it's
Oh yeah, and you had a kid, like Alex said. You did all that well. Yeah.
Which, man, talk about a trip. Like she is growing up so fast. She now she got her 2 of her front teeth for Christmas.
Oh shit! All right,
and cool. Is now pulling herself up to stand up, which is crazy, and also meant that like I stress prepped the house last weekend and like did a ton of things, much more because like we went from like, oh, she's a cute potato that'll just sit and do nothing, and like now it's like I can't leave her alone in the middle of the bed because she will just try to crawl her way off the end. Like I had to lower her crib because I was like, oh cool, now if you stand up you can flip yourself over the bars, so I need to drink. Like,
you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and it was just out of nowhere. Like it literally went from like her never wanting to put weight on her feet to we were like visiting some of Katie's friends and she all of a sudden started just like pulling herself up on the couch there, and I was like, oh boy, this is new.
Yeah. So I think, I know it's not a Patreon question, but I think this is a good time to answer like the number yes, the number one.
How do you plan on improving work-life balance in the new year? I mean, I just spent like almost $1 million trying to get something into do that. I think that automation is going to be a big change for that. Like these titanium parts are a really good example. Like I'm going to have to grind myself into dust over the next week to get them shipped by next Thursday. And other like if I had my automation working, I could have just figured out the first one, proven out one of each of the other ones, and then let the other ones eat for like the remaining 30 hours or whatever. Those kind of projects are not uncommon and seem to be getting more and more common for us, of like very intricate things that just require a ton of roughing or a ton of small tools and hours of all of that. And so, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big thing for us in 2026 is like, hopefully the automation helps with that. I think I've also, towards the end of this year, things got a little crazy, but I'm like trying to get back to being a little bit more rational with my quoting and understanding our limits and all of that. Like, we'll see. Yeah, Alex, I could potentially do a weight code or something like that. I don't know enough about how the Flex runs automatically. It's not like it runs G code, like it runs on its own system, and so I'm unsure. I mean, I guess the hacks is
its own thing.
Yeah, like, so like I guess the weight code would just like be sitting there waiting for the robot at an undeterminate amount of time, and I just don't know how much it can do. And honestly, it could be all right because the robot could. I mean, it's got very low load to lift and all that stuff, but it's really more that like, I guess the way like my tech put it, he was like, oh, you know, things could be all right. He's like, but also I just want to let you know that like the computer controlling the hacks or controlling the robot is like 20 grand. So like if you do something with power that causes it to knock it out, be a 20 grand bill.
So Alex, like I would say it's a weird one because of like the interaction between the hacks and the machine. It's not so much like programming dwell as like you would need to kind of go like and how Heidenhain works, and like you have a tremendous amount of access to you would I mean, I guess it would be a dwell like from like a but you'd be kind of going into like opening up a function to like open up the table on the hacks to like really start to use the CNC control to like put the steps of the hack system together in a way, or
Right.
to know where it was to make sure that that you weren't running the spindle at the same time as like, because it's like you don't want that spindle going plus the motors of this thing going all at the same time. It's just kind of complicated. Like,
Yeah.
and
We'll be okay.
it's
We're going to get the
yeah,
480. Everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
Even if we have to trench across the parking lot to the utility room and bring it
Right.
over that way, we will do that. Like at this point, if I have to spend, 5 figures to bring over power, still going to be worth it. It'll suck.
6 figures to bring over power.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's when you find a new contractor.
Yeah.
No, but I realized the other thing I forgot to say too is that we realized during the spindle warm up and other stuff that we also have to finish our air loop now, because not only does the 20K spindle take a ton of power, but it takes way more air than we anticipated. And so if the current Hermla is on and consuming air and it's midway through the run of the airline, and then I try to like go to 20K on the new machine, it errors out because we are so close to the limit on flow rate on the air oil spindle. Because what I found out is like the air oil spindles I've used in the past, they just pressurize air and oil into the bearings and then it kind of just drips out of the spindle.
Yeah.
Like into the coolant and stuff. Well, Hermla is like, no, we don't want to, mess with your coolant. So there is also an air powered vacuum system on the bottom of the spindle that then sucks all of the oil back out of the spindle cartridge into a holding tank on the back of the machine, which is awesome. But it takes a ton of air. Like it's double the amount of air that you would expect an air oil spindle to use. So bought a ton of copper. I've got a bunch of fittings coming, and now we're going to have to finish the run around the rest of the shop, which we're going to have to anyway, because like the S700 is now way far away from the wall that we had all of the runs coming from and stuff like that. So it was something we needed to do regardless. It's just now more of a pressing issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like it's fine.
Do you think about putting like little auxiliary tanks like in line for each machine?
Someone else recommended that. I think it would work, but like we need the run anyway. Like I need.
Well, I guess not to not do the run, but like in addition to the run, just to like mostly to like load level air and stuff.
We'll see if we need it. Honestly, we're all of the run up till now has been 3/4 inch copper, and now we're doing 1 inch for the remainder of the loop on that side, and all that's coming off the 1 inch side is the new Hermla, the S700, which is like, I mean, you can almost blow into the airline on an S700 and have enough air for that. And then
you do a full loop too.
Right now, it's just been a branch, but it will be a full loop once we're done with this. Yeah,
that's probably that's probably also kind of hurting you a little bit because you have like an end of the line. Yeah.
Let's see. Alex says, does Hermla have its own tool recovery, or is it something base Heidenhain? I've lost air during a tool change, and when I try to recover, have had it drop a tool. I think it's just base Heidenhain, but so far, everything I've had to recover in Heidenhain seems incredibly well thought out. Like it kind of lights up the buttons in the order you need it, and you just do what it says, and it recovers itself, usually through soft keys or something like that. Like after a power loss, it kind of does everything. If it thinks it moved during a power loss or during a tool thing, it tells you exactly how to do it. TNC 7's even easier. Like I'm shocked. There's like such little things in TNC 7 that are changed, but like the main one is being able to click that thing at the top that shows all the alarms and the states. And then like, it's much more legible. It's much easier to use.
The virtual CE button.
Yes. Yeah. That's wildly good. Yeah. So good. So yeah, that's
It's interesting, like seeing, like, because basically, like most of my now Heidenhain experience is with only TNC7.
Yeah.
And seeing, like, hearing that, it's like, oh, I wonder why they. I mean, it's like that's one of those things you think would be obvious for like every other previous generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think. It even
Yeah.
tells you to hit CE now. There's no
Right.
hidden code of knowing to hit CE when you turn on the control.
And like the C, yeah, there's also like the virtual CE button. You could hit it on the control,
Right.
like as a touchscreen, which is like, oh, cool, nice.
7 boots up way slower though than 640.
Yeah, I mean,
significantly slower. You would expect like a better hardware to boot up much quicker, but holy shit, it is slow.
I would say like that is just like that's a trend in general that is very fucking annoying. Because it seems to be like endemic across like every control. Like Haas is super fucking slow now to the point that they have ads, which is I hate that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ads like with like you like, oh, you could buy our tooling and stuff. The one thing I do like at least have is like, oh, because it takes so long. It's like now's a good now's a good time to check your concentration and do this and do that, which is like that's fine. But then it rolls into ads for their tooling, and you're like,
ads
come on, man,
dude.
But yeah, but the Fanic is also the same. You know, it just takes fucking forever since they like. I don't know what the deal is like with the new stuff, but I mean, apparently, like the Fanic 500, like they're changing the line entirely, and I guess it's supposed to be way different now.
Oh,
like
really?
they're doing like an actual like generation jump because they have the plus, like 31i plus, 0i plus, whatever. Now it's like, which is like a half step. Now I think they're going to like the new version, which is this is where everybody's going to be really fucked up because these dumb fucks have been allowing people like, and when I say dumb fucks, I mean older applications engineers have been showing the guys how like these people that they're training, oh, this is the old style, you can just go to the old style. Now the new, and like whenever I follow those people, it's like, don't fucking do that because the next version, it's gone. That's gone. You will only have this.
My Hermletech was trying to show me a way in 7 to get 640 screens. He was like, "Oh, there's a way to like bring it up so that it looks like." I'm like, "No, don't." I was like, "I don't. I'll just learn it. Like, it's fine. If I do it now, I'll be fine by the time that I really need to."
Right.
But like, if I wait and I just like try to limp along in 640 land, like I'm gonna A, cut all the new stuff, and B, it doesn't help me at all. Like it
doesn't help. It's like you're doing everybody a disservice. Like the new, like it's like with Fanic specifically, is like the new side is way better. Like it's way easier to use, and like the new version that's coming out, it's cut like I told all of them like it's coming, and now it's like it's coming like next year, like 2026, 2027. Where there will be no old version maintenance mode. It's just all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris had said that his C250 hasn't been recognizing the keyboard on first start. I have to reboot and suffer the boot up times twice. That is wild, and
I would kill myself. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Popped off the back of the stuff. Like maybe there's like it's like not connected or something.
Right. It's just a Linux PC at the end.
Yeah. I wonder if like the USB, it might just be like a USB, like it's just half cocked in there.
Yeah, that would be my first check as well, or like it's just a bad cable or something. And then it says, just like the new AliExpress Haas tooling website. Yeah, I love that Haas actually had a fairly good site and then ruined it. It's insane to me that they did that update, and like I don't know why you would like, people were actually enjoying buying tooling from them, and then they've changed the quality and changed the website and just really kind of shot themselves in the foot. It's wild. And it's on the console. I don't know if it's on the console itself or if it's in the cabinet. I know the main PC is in the cabinet, but I'm not sure where like the peripherals get plugged in. But
Yeah, it is very likely like you could pull the back of the little console off, and there might be a board in there that the keyboard's attached to, and you could just like pop it in.
yeah, or just reach out to
Like,
support too. Support's free
yeah,
if you have a valid serial number, which you do. And they'll let you know if it's something that's user serviceable for sure.
damn. I wonder what a non-valid serial number would like.
Well,
Like,
I just mean like a serial. Like I think if you
yeah,
have a serial number, they'll answer your thing for free. But if you are just like, oh, how do I do this?
yeah.
Your machine. They're like, you know,
I'm just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything for that. Let's see. From the Patreon, Nick says, is there something said for being overqualified or having too much experience? He stopped looking for a new shop after his last disaster, which we talked about on a few episodes ago, where he got kind of bait and switched into a new shop that didn't work out. But he's been on 2 interviews since and told he's either overqualified or have more experience than what they expected.
That's just their way of saying they don't want to pay you.
Yeah. Are you broke or are you cheap?
Yeah, they're just cheap. Like they want you, but they also are like, like we just are gonna have to pay you too much money, so we don't want to do that. Like you it's a very polite way, quote unquote polite way of saying like, thanks, but we recognize you know your worth. No, thank you.
Yeah. I know that you have stopped looking, but you just got to keep yourself out there. Yeah. He says he's a 2-hour round trip commute, and that's just
that would
10+ hours a week on the road is just not good.
Yes, I agree.
Need to find a new job.
Yeah.
But like basically, you just need to find a shop that it appreciates its machinists. It sounds like you just have had a string of bad luck, and I really feel for you because I've gone through those as well. It just really does. Tuck's Garage. I don't know if Tucker's still here in the audience or not, but he says, "What do you do to help relieve stress at work, if that's even possible? What do you both do for fun?"
Just jerk off, you know. Yeah. But for real, like I like to go to the movies. That's like it's like holiday season. I saw the new Avatar in 3D, which was cool. I saw what the fuck else?
I heard it really good, but
it was
way too long, or just like very, very long.
It is 3 hours and 15 minutes long. So it's fucking long, but like the main baddie, the lady, she's so hot. It's like, wow, how did you make this thing so hot? Like one of my favorite parts of the movie, and this like isn't a spoiler or anything, because like on the posters, you know, she's bad, but like the main guy, I can't remember it. He gives her like a flamethrower. You know, and she like shoots it, and she was like sick, and then she's like, all right, like we gotta fuck about this like right now. And she just like takes him into her like hut or whatever. It's awesome. It's so good. It's a weird one because like the last like main like conflict battle or whatever is very similar to the previous one, like almost exactly the same as the last one. But totally worth it. I really liked it a lot.
Awesome.
Also saw Marty Supreme. You know, dude, that is one of the most stressful movies I've ever fucking seen in my whole life. It is
movie stressful,
dude. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
No, I haven't. I've been really
that movie's very stressful. And have you seen or heard of Good Time with Robert Pattinson?
Sounds familiar, but I definitely
that movie's also very stressful. So but that's all like the Good Time and Uncut Gem were the Safdie brothers directing together. And then this Marty Supreme is just Josh Safdie, who's not like Ben Safdie's the one that was in Oppenheimer. And Josh, I mean, you very clearly see whose style is who, and like, oh my God, like the movie is so fucking stressful. Um, it's very good though. I
Okay.
highly recommend it. It's one of my top of the year for sure.
Really?
And
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. But it was like one of these things where I'm like, oh my god, like what is this fucking guy doing? Um,
Oh boy.
but yeah, that's I mean, for me, that's mostly what it's very funny to be like, I loved watching that very stressful movie, but
Right.
I really liked it. So, but that's what I do to de-stress is like just go sit in a dark room by myself for a couple hours.
I think that's fair. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Stress from work. No.
Yeah.
I
Go home and stress about my wife.
no. Play video games sometimes. Well, like not like for a little bit. Though I don't know. I find it hard to get into a lot of games. Like I downloaded Battlefield 6 and was just like, "Yeah, it's good, but it's just like more of the same." And I got bored of it.
Have you fucked with the roguelikes yet? Like Vampire Survivor, Hades, or anything where it's
No,
like a
but you
quick
love
ass.
Hades, and
I love
into it.
Hades. I've been playing like I left my Steam Decks. I can't remember where I left it. I didn't have it for a while and it was really upsetting. But I've now since reunited with it and I've been playing more Hades and Elden Ring. Um I would also recommend Elden Ring. Though that game is stressful, but like
Yeah.
the roguelikes, either Hades or like people are like really into like Balatro or Blueprints was one that people got really into, but it's like the like short run type of thing where it like you like can do it for a little bit and then it's like over and then you can start over, blah blah blah.
Right.
I found those with the stuff that we're doing because like it's really hard to like focus, like sit down and focus for like a couple hours. Like a 30 to 45-minute run is like very nice. And there you go. Tux says also Balatro. Balatro you can play on your phone too.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Which
Sure. Oh
yeah, there it is. Yeah.
That's funny. Besides that, I was going to the gym really religiously for a long time, and then we just got so busy. Plus, Molly's bedtime moved up. Like before, like for a while, she wasn't going to bed till like 10 or 11 because she was sleeping on and off, every couple of hours throughout the day. So it didn't matter. So like if I got home late from the gym, it was fine. But like now she goes to bed at like 7:30. And so like I try to go straight home unless I'm working late.
Right.
I really need to get back to the gym because like that was by far the best stress relief and best mental health. And like I feel just like garbage after not going for probably a month now.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I got these guys
and stuff like, but
yeah,
it's nice to like go to somewhere where like there's not
I agree
interrupting you.
Mostly I'm showing those because it's like I should use those more than I do.
Oh man, yeah. I think that was like the biggest thing. Alex says, I know you're not a morning person, but have you thought about going? So if I went before work, I would have to get up at like 4 a.m. because I'm the one who takes Molly to daycare. And so to go to the gym, back and shower, grab her, take her to daycare, and then get to work at a normal time. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I wish I was a morning person because I would love to go in the morning. I think it would set me up for a great day, but like it's just, I don't know.
Right.
I'm gonna figure it out. Like everything, it just requires some more rearranging and figuring all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So well, I'll sort it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll start taking her to daycare a little earlier and then try to go between then and work or something like that. Let's see. Patrick, Job Shopper TN says, drop your biggest advice for someone looking to start a shop.
Man, to be an absolute hater, don't do it. Like it's
love that you said that because that was my joke answer also.
It's well, I mean, it's just like it's never gonna be like as easy as you think it is, yada yada. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like the hubris is strong almost always. Like you got to kind of fight that, and like I would almost like if it's possible, and I don't know, but like if I had to like wave a wand and give somebody like enough advice, would be to like buy your machine or whatever, and then save up enough money to like quit whatever fucking day job you have and then just give it your all if you really want to do it. Like which is not great advice potentially, but like also I think that's the quickest way to either succeed or fail is to just fucking give your all to it. And like I think you've kind of explained this before, is like you probably should have done it sooner, and would you would have been fine, but it's hard to do both things, like work for somebody else and work for yourself. It's in certain cases hard to take on certain parts, and like when do you find customers and yada yada. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but like I would say, like my advice is to work both for a while, like to try to, because like I think there's a lot of people that start a business and then like realize like, oh, I don't like this. Not what I like. I'm not like it's okay to not be cut out for owning your own business. It's not for
Right.
everyone. It sucks a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's also really great a lot of the time, but like you have to have the right temperament. You have to want to deal with people. There's so many things that like have to line up for you to be good at business besides being, yeah, like Alex says, it's one thing to be a great,
Yeah.
the other stuff that sucks. Like it's one thing to be really good at the technical stuff, but like you still have to deal with people. You still have to like figure out quoting. You still have to be able to justify what you're doing to customers. You have to deal with like, oh, my machine broke down. I'm not going to be on time. Like
Right.
there's so many things that you have to be good at besides being a machinist that I think like I would do at least a little bit of time where like, okay, I have a job. Worst case, it all blows up. I have no work for 6 months and I can pay myself. I still have money. I still can pay for my machine. I'm not tearing my head out. Cause like I would lose my mind, or I would have lost my mind if like I had just gone cold turkey right off the bat, cut myself off and like had no
Yeah.
like
That's fair.
really shitting my pants every day. Like I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to eat ramen today because like we didn't make any money, and like are we gonna be able to pay rent on the shop this month kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
And that's
me, it's
and
all-
that's where the save up enough money to be able to like just give it up,
Yeah.
not the aspect of yeah, don't do what I did, which was like I think I had like $1,000 in the bank when I quit my real day job. And was like, fuck it, I have faith in myself,
right. Yeah, it's tough though. Like I think that definitely, yeah, get a machine, work both for a while, learn what you like, and learn if it's something you actually want to do before you really screw up your life.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too would be like in terms of the what you like what parts do you like to make, and like really try and hone in on those customers. Like you found your like niche, like you have like this like cool kind of like NPI thing going on where like you're like hardcore and like really prototyping and like you do hard shit like both material wise and geometry wise, and like that works, and like it took you a little while to get there. Like that would be everything else being equal, that is like such a huge thing where people try and be too much of a generalist, and then you end up getting like you really can't make money until you specialize, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But that's just a tough, hard won lesson. Like
Yeah.
you can't just look at other people's parts and say like, oh, I want to do that.
Right.
You might get into it and be like, oh, I really don't like these parts. I don't like the stress that comes with them. I don't
Right.
like the numbers that come with them. Like, like this was not for me. I was wrong.
I want to do like small plastic parts, and then you get into small plastic parts and it's like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Or you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Base work. And then you start getting into it and you're like, I spend 30 out of 40 hours a week making paperwork. Like, actually, this is not what I want to be doing.
The OSP, like you have to go to certain vendors. I mean, like to be fair, like I would say, like this is just a random aside. You are so spoiled, like, and I mean you specifically, Dylan, are like so spoiled being in Arizona for OSP because like Raytheon's down there, Boeing's down there, Honeywell's down there, Lockheed's down there, Northrop Grumman, fucking Blue Origin, they're all there.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like really good anodizers, chem film, whatever. You can like take your pick. They can all fucking do it like very quickly. Up here in Boise, it's like
Nothing.
there's nothing.
I bet
It's
you
like
can do a fair bit of Cerakote though.
yes, yeah. But like you want like good like anodize, like expedites like a week, like you know,
Right.
like you get it like that's quick. You basically have to like ship it somewhere to get it done quicker. You can get it done quicker by shipping it.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was.
That's
funny
I guess
posted the pallet risers when they came back.
Yeah.
Like I got 4 or 5 messages that were like, "Oh, that was very quick," and I was like, "I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 days. That's kind of long for them. Like they had a day in the middle there."
Yeah, and that is it skewed my perception because that's like where I like quote unquote grew up manufacturing wise is like basically between there and the Bay Area you have these kind of meccas for OSP in like LA and like the Northeast. Like the rest of there's like such a dearth in like the rest of the country. It's pretty wild. Like that's like from like a weird, I guess mostly shooting that into also the advice is like what is around you in terms of support processes for real, you know? Like and like honestly it's like could you do that instead? Like which is not as sexy, but like if you could do like up here like anodize or chem film well and quick, like you probably you could make a fuckload of money doing that instead of like that is a shop still.
As like a second business, because like even here, there's like maybe 2 good anodizers in town, and they're just like really so overloaded. Like if you could do, I mean, really anywhere in the country, like if you could do very, very good, perfect anodize with fantastic processes, give to anybody, and take in overnight shipments, anodize them, and send them back out like the next day or the following day with overnight. Like I think you could do so much money. Like you would charge a lot,
right?
You know,
in most cases, like if you had like a like send cut send esque like this is my part. What would it cost? What would it like insta quote to anodize and when I could get it by if like you know, and then essentially it's like you could print the label to send the shit to them. And then it's like all you got to do is box it, you know.
Such a good idea. Because like that's
I would be shocked if Send Cut Send themselves don't do it at some point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Do that.
Send finish send.
It's so easy to quote that stuff too, because it's all just surface area based.
Right. Somebody just left, and I bet they left to go buy that domain.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, but like somebody should do it.
Yeah.
All right. Our last question on the board, at least from Possum Solutions, finishing in BT30 machines, long finishing. He's trying to finish some 70 millimeter tall walls on a BT30. What's the best way to do it? What have you tried?
There's, I don't know if he's in here. I don't think he is, but like the thickness of the wall kind of matters. You know, like that's the aspect ratio. But if I can get away with it, like, I mean, if I have a tool, I'll just use like generically like a necked tool and like step down and like finish. Sometimes I'll ramp so that you get like some of your forces going in the Z, so it's not just all side force, which helps with the thinner stuff to like ramp down it. And then if you're willing to spend in terms of long flute length, I would only really go with that if I could spend a fuckload of money on the right tool that's designed to do like long wall finishing, like the phrases or whatever, where they kind of like build the taper in or whatever, and like it's just accounting for deflection and super solid core, only used for finishing, not like just some generic long, 3 flute, half-inch in mill or whatever, because that's probably not going to do that well. I'd rather just have a short, stubby stub flute, long reach, and just step it down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 70 millimeters is asking a lot in BT30, especially dual contact. 2.75 inches. Like, you can do it. I would do it with step downs as well, or ramp them. You're going to have to just kind of test. Definitely not a long flute tool. I just wouldn't even try it. I don't think you're going to luck in a BT30 with that at that length. Like at 2 inches, I think you'd be okay with a long flute.
Yeah.
0.75 is like,
you are kind of longer than the taper itself at that point. And you're just going to stress. You're going to leverage the spindle connection quite a bit. That's a good point.
Yeah. And like, the other thing I've done too is finish what you can with a shorter tool and blend to it. If you're not getting it a ton and like your machine can hold okay tolerance, like that tends to be the best way to do it. Like I would do maybe, 1.5 inches with a 1/2 inch end mill, or like an 1.25 inches, and then grab a neck tool and start, ramping down or stepping down from there and try to blend them. I've had that sometimes in the past.
I would also, the other thing for some shit like that is like semi-finishing pretty hardcore to leave like 2-3 thou, Mm-hmm. So you just like really control the amount of material left to finish, as opposed to like regardless, like if you leave 10 thou and like material in the corners, you're going to have a bad time kind of thing.
Gonna sing praises.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's kind of change up the last questions. We're obviously going to go over what we researched this week, but let's talk about 2026. Besides, implementing what we've worked so hard this year for, what are some other things you were excited for?
I think like I've been saying this a lot, but like just kind of like continuing the trajectory that we have and like trying to like build a better foundation and more stability and like really plant a flag harder now that we've like more or less crystallized. I have some like other like not like big ideas, but like ways to like I guess quote unquote productize what we're doing a little bit too. I haven't fully fleshed out, so I'll probably talk about it more in January when we inevitably do this again in January. And like that, and I guess like kind of big, like not big change, but like I do want to do the cncmerch.com thing.
Okay.
That's hat. We also found like the guy that's in the building with us. There's a guy that's in the building with us that does shirts and does screen printing in the building, and it's really nice.
Okay.
So there's like Michael Morton and I were talking about it last night. We just like, we have some things to figure out, but like kind of doing like the whole 3PL thing to a certain extent with like our stuff. Like, I mean, obviously we have some ideas and like my stuff, like we're initially going to go into it with like, this is X amount of dollars for marketing, AKA this is money we can burn. And we're comfortable burning. We don't expect to like, and we will give away quite a few shirts, but also it's like if people want to buy them, here they are, we can buy them, and then you can buy them, and then that's how we, like whatever, if they're just sitting around. And with the guy being right there, there's some things we want to figure out about like, can we like bulk buy t-shirts and kind of like order the silk screening on demand kind of thing to like save money that way. Cool. But it also like leads into the whole like, I mean, this is such like an afterthought, but it's just like limited like drops and things like that, whatever, like seasonal drops and like, but obviously we need the just fucking cut t-shirt like ASAP. We need like ABC, always be crushing or always be cutting, whatever, good parts, fast parts, blah, blah, blah. Like we have some ideas and like, like now that we have a physical locate, like we're going to have a physical location that's ours, and like we can kind of control inventory to a certain extent. Like that is something we're looking to like. That's an exciting we thing that we can look forward to, and like the only reason why we can look forward to that is because we have built like a somewhat stable foundation to be able to like build on that foundation.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm super stoked, obviously, for the first, few nights of like automating like this stuff. Like actually having some real automation runs. That's going to be incredible. IMTS is this year. Probably going to go for a couple days. Or this next year. The tool path.
Dude, yes. I was like, as soon as you said IMTS, I was like, the fucking Toolpath Summit, of course.
Yeah. So I've never skied, so I'm going to learn how to ski, which will be cool.
I am not going to learn how to ski. Yeah. I will be there, and we should do like another live episode there. Double live, you know?
Have some people pop in and out.
And that'll be cool. And then like I think you're emceeing the automation panel.
Yes.
Right? And then Justin and I are doing like a Hot Ones thing, I think. Or no, Justin and Graham are doing Hot Ones, and then we're doing some Stump the Chumps thing. I don't fucking know. We're answering questions live, and like it'll be fun. It'll be with it'll be a good crew. It seems like for last I've heard, it's been doing like selling well.
Yeah.
I
would guess that the seats are getting limited.
Yeah.
So
I've only snowboarded, and I'm not, honestly, like I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to hurt myself. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, never done either. I'm going to learn to ski there, but
skiing seems safer. I'm excited to see Graham ski because that dude is a monster, is like such a fucking adrenaline junkie.
Oh, really?
And he used to do like competitions back in the day. So that should be pretty wild.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap up and talk about research, to the people in the chat, are there any questions you guys have before we wrap up this episode? Looks like there's 11, or is that it?
Yeah. I see 11 as well. Yeah.
Cool. I'll give people a minute or two to think.
This was pretty good. I mean, we had up to 19 at one point, you know? Yeah. Cool. It might be worth doing like more frequently. Yeah.
Well, we don't have super not safe for air things to talk about, like we have in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I still have things
cut out. Yeah. Thanks, Tucker, and thanks, Alex. We really appreciate you guys chiming in and asking questions.
It does keep me on a leash a little bit more going off and ranting. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. All right. Well, we'll let people talk a little bit more in case there's any other questions, but let's go on to what have you been researching this week? Oh, there you go. Chris, did you ever get a clip? Did you get the clip on the dental loops, or do the ones that strap onto your head? They are, so the loops themselves are built into glasses, and then the light is just a clip-on dental light from like eBay. That was like $20 or something like that. They don't strap to your head. They just wear like normal glasses. They aren't that heavy. They don't feel like they're falling off or anything like that. I do want to get better ones this year. The ones I have are 2.5 times or 3, and they don't have strong enough magnification for the stuff I need. I end up going back to my loop a fair bit, or going over to the microscopes. Like for just checking surface finish from afar, like they're great, but I need probably 10x if I can find it, because that's what my loop is, or maybe 8 if I can't find 10, and that'll be great. So that I need to keep an eye on eBay and see if I can find them, because there's no way I'm going to buy. I think they're like $3,500 or $4,000 for new ones, and there's just absolutely no way I can justify that. Yeah, I'd rather spend $5,000 and buy another vision microscope and just have one.
Right.
So
yeah.
All right. What have you been researching, dude?
Mostly like I would say like the merch stuff. Probably like now that it's like buried deep, I did buy like another domain. Zapatini. I mean, I did buy cncmerch.com, so I'll figure out what that is, but I figured like we could put like a merch thing on your website, merch thing on mine that just funnels to that thing, or whatever. I also bought zapatinisystems.com, and we might be doing like a little rebrand at some point to Zapatini Systems away from Zapatini Consulting, just for reasons. Yeah. But a lot of it is like 3PL stuff, whatever else. Paint. We're painting. This technically counts. I mean, there's a lot of ads for it, but like the Claude, like kind of like quote unquote plugin inside of like VS Code for like doing like little scripty stuff is very cool. Like that is super duper. I mean, Justin's been talking about it a lot. It is very impressive. It's kind of insane.
Sick. Let's see. So obviously the Raspberry Pi stuff, I'm pretty excited about that because the plan right now is to not only have it push all that stuff to Home Assistant. So I have a dashboard. Like I think we're going to get like a, I don't know, 40 or 50 inch monitor to hang over the hallway, like right by its
right.
And just have all 4 machines and their levels and their concentrations. But I want to have a little screen on the back of every machine where the sensor, where the Pi is, that shows the same data and then also live calculates like, hey, you need this many gallons at this concentration to be full and at the target concentration.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy to walk up, hook in the quick disconnect, dial in the concentration, and then just start filling.
I like that.
And it just sounds like a fun project. So
it does.
Pretty
very cool.
Other thing I was researching, or not researching, but I bought, it actually should be here this week maybe, was the McMaster-Carr ugly Christmas sweaters that
yes. Yeah. Those are so cool.
Yeah. So I will put the link in the show notes. She still has them up on her website. She's not charging anything for them. Like you pay the company that makes the knitted sweatshirt, but you download her templates. Go to, I think it's Knitly or something like Knitwise.
Dude.
You create an account, you upload her template, and then you get the McMaster-Carr ugly Christmas sweater that looks awesome.
It looks so cool. That reminds me of the fucking crazy conversation I had with my boomer ass aunt where she was like, I was like, look at these. They're so cool. And she's like, oh, does she make them? And it's like, no. And she's like, well, who makes them? And it's like, I'm like showing her the way. It's like, well, this place does. And it's like, so she designed, like, it was like such an insane conversation. I was like, I don't know how better to explain this to you right now.
Like I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Tuck's last question. What's your favorite superhero? I mean,
either, if it counts, Scott Pilgrim. If it doesn't count, I would say Kick-Ass was probably like the first comic. One of the first comics I really got into. I got like the first like 6. Like I read that during its original run, and I have all 6 like first edition comics in my garage in Massachusetts. But I would say Kick-Ass. That's the one.
I like that. Scott Pilgrim's a good answer. That's
I really like Scott Pilgrim.
I wanted to say Iron Man because like
Iron
Man. But yeah, dude, Scott. I've watched Scott Pilgrim probably 30 times. Like that's one of my favorite all-time movies.
When people ask me what my favorite movie is, that's what I say.
Yeah,
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
It's so good. It is. Yeah. Really, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's my favorite Edgar Wright movie. I think his best movie is Hot Fuzz, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is my favorite movie. Period.
Hot Fuzz. The whole Cornetto trilogy, though the last one was but the Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are like there for sure as you can watch anytime. Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Hey y'all, Dylan from the future here. Unfortunately, the reason this episode took so long is that Riverside lost the last 30 or 40 minutes, despite about, I don't know, 10 or 15 of you still being in the live audience. I went back and forth with them for about a couple weeks, and they just continue to say that I ended it early. Regardless, really, really appreciate everyone listening and enjoying in 2025. And I'm looking forward to some fantastic guests and episodes in 2026. Thank you all for listening, and I will be back next week.